What's going on, guys? It's your boy Scrub here, back again with another video. Hope you guys are all having an absolutely fantastic day. I know I am, and if you are, you need to press the like button. Otherwise, no joke, no scam. An alligator named Skimpy will eat all of your shrimp. Yeah, that's right, guys. I know at least a couple of you are shrimp collectors, and if you don't press the like button, then Scampy is going to eat your shrimp. Yes, that's right. He's gonna call it Shrimp Scampy. Real talk though, guys, hope you guys are all having an absolutely incredible day. I know I am, and if you are, then that's good. Anyways, as you guys can tell from the title and thumbnail, today I have a story about a crazy babysitter. This is a subscriber story. They sent it to me on my Instagram at Scrubby, which is a good idea. Send me stories if you want. I don't know. I tell subscriber stories every now and then. And basically, they had a crazy babysitter that tried to burn their house down when they got fired. You know, typical crazy babysitter stuff. Crazy babysitters be like, I'm here to sit on babies and burn your house down. No in between. That's all I'm good for. And every now and then you just gotta tell a story about it. So that's what we're gonna be talking about today. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Hope you guys are gonna have a fun time listening. Let's get into it. So when I was smaller, my parents decided that they needed to get us a consistent babysitter. They saw some article or like news thing on TV about how it's super important for kids to have one consistent babysitter in their life for them to have, you know, a good role model. And my parents tried their best, all right? They weren't always the sharpest tools in the shed, but they were like, oh my goodness, our kids are gonna grow up to be Ted Bundy unless they have the same babysitter every time. And if they don't have the same babysitter, then it's single-handedly proven that they will become psychopaths. Like, they tried their best, but they were definitely a little too excited to make changes sometimes, and they decided that they were gonna look for a babysitter. And most people, when they're looking for a babysitter, probably Google a website for babysitters or, like, you know, do something relatively normal, ask a family friend, something along those lines. My parents, for whatever reason, decided that they just didn't love us at all and started looking on Craigslist for a babysitter, which might be the worst place to ever find a babysitter. Like, out of every place where I would look for someone to do a job, I think Craigslist is already the least trustworthy, let alone getting somebody to watch your kids on Craigslist. Like I said, my parents tried their best, but they definitely weren't the sharpest tools in the shed, you know. What's up, kids? This is your new Craigslist babysitter. His name's Danny. He smokes 18 packs of cigs a day, and his middle name is Patrice. Like, you know, that's the type of people you're probably gonna meet on Craigslist. But regardless, they found this 17-year-old girl that was looking for babysitting jobs on Craigslist, and I feel like using Craigslist as a 17-year-old definitely is not a very safe thing to do. But regardless, they find this girl, and everything seems great. She's an honor student, she's good at school, she plays sports, everything checks out and seems pretty good. That should have been red flag number one, though, because if somebody who has all these qualifications is looking for babysitting work on Craigslist, it's probably because nobody they know trusts them with their kids, you know? Like, call me crazy here, but if the perfect babysitter is on Craigslist, you gotta ask yourself, why do they have to go on Craigslist to find kids to babysit? Probably because they're a psychopath, you know. But my parents don't think this through, and they're like, wow, it's perfect. And she comes over to babysit us. And the first time she babysits us, it's all right. Her name was Juliet, and Juliet is a little intense. She was kind of too much of a stickler for the rules. You know, there's rules that are like rules, but they're not really rules, you know. Like, oh, no cooking in the kitchen. And you're like, oh, okay, that usually pertains to the stove, so I'm gonna make some cereal. Like, my parents' rule was we couldn't cook. And you know, everybody kind of knew that just meant with the stove or the oven, like stuff that could burn the house down potentially, all right? We're not talking about the type of stuff where it's like, I'm gonna make cereal, because how am I gonna ruin anything with cereal, bruh? There's never been a case of the house was perfectly still, it was in place, until Timmy got the Cheerios. Crap blew up like an absolute C4 explosive. Like, that just doesn't happen, all right? So we were just like trying to make some cereal, and the babysitter was like, no cereal. Like, I swear, if Captain Crunch would have been in there, she would have decapitated him like an ISIS video. Like, she was a little bit too intense into following the rules. So, whatever, she's a little too much, and we're not really having fun with her, and our parents obviously wanted us to have a good role model and someone that we enjoy. They didn't want to leave us with a babysitter all the time and like us hate them, because that's just awkward for everybody involved. Nobody has fun when you hate your babysitter, right? So whatever, they had kind of told her that it was going to be a serious gig, but when they got back that night and we all were like, oh my god, she's a crazy woman, please don't make us stay with her again, they kind of were like, oh, all right, well, we're not going to leave our kids with somebody that they hate, because that's not the point of a babysitter. Imagine if that was the goal of a babysitter, was like to be hated. She comes over, oh, what do you like, kid? Oh, you building Legos? As soon as your parents leave, she knocks them down like She-Woman Godzilla. That would not be legit. That's a bad babysitter. So our parents, realizing that we really didn't enjoy the presence of her, and the fact that, she was kind of a crazy person that wouldn't let us make cereal or like watch movies with the volume over 7. Just like that type of stuff where you're like, it's a little too strict for kids, a little too strict. And I know someone in the comments right now, Ryan, she was just trying to follow the rules. All right, Melvin, okay, you nerd. Let's see, have you followed every rule that's ever been given to you? No, hopefully not, dude. If you're mad that they were like, hey, this girl's a little too strict and we don't like being around her, then I don't know what to tell you. You probably go the speed limit, all right? Keep living in your little bubble. Keep doing what you gotta do. Get out my comment section. So the parents kind of realize that they call her and they say, hey, you did a great job, but we're probably not going to hire you again. It's nothing personal. We just found a better babysitter that lives closer. They tell her a lie, right? And she takes it really hard, like a little harder than you would think. Almost like, her boyfriend just dumped her. She's like, what? Excuse me? It is like screaming on the phone that like, you said this would be a consistent job. And they're like, well, it was the first time. We didn't really know how things were going to work out. No big deal. And I guess as she's yelling at them, arguing with the parents that the kids had a great time and she's missing out, the dad lets it slip that the kids are the ones that said that they didn't want anything because she wouldn't let them like make cereal, which sounds ridiculous. That's not really what happened. She was just overall strict, but you get the idea. He tells the crazy babysitter that is screaming at them that the kids didn't want her, which probably isn't the best idea. When you're dealing with crazy people, the best idea is to, let them think that they're right. If you're getting ever yelled at by a crazy person, here's a piece of advice. You go, oh my gosh, I had no idea. And you move on because you don't want to tell a crazy person they're wrong. That's just a really bad idea. Telling a crazy person they're wrong is like telling, I don't know, your mom that she's overreacting when she's upset. You can do it. You might end up in a coffin though, and it's probably not worth the risk. But what is worth the risk is heading over to the merch store down in the description and getting yourself some fantastic Christmas merch. Yeah, that's right, guys. How can you feel festive without this beautiful, fantastic Christmas design emblazoned on your body like a cattle? Just kidding. Please buy my merch, though. It's very cool, very swag. Will get many girlfriends. And I guess she took that very, very, very personally, because what happens next is someone mentally snapping. So there's a knock on their door about 20 minutes later, and the parents open it, and it's the babysitter, and she goes, hi, can I talk to your kids for a second? And they're like, we prefer you didn't. And she pushed past the parents, and the parents are like, what are you doing? She walks into the kitchen, grabs a thing of Easy Mac from the cupboard, and they're like, okay, can you please leave? Like, we didn't invite you inside. Walks over to the microwave, puts it in for 20 minutes with no water, and hits start. And if you guys don't know what that does, trust me, I've done it myself. If you put Easy Mac in a microwave with no water, it lights on fire. And so the parents are like, what are you doing? Take that out. It's going to light on fire. She's like, no, since your stupid kids want to be able to cook, I'm making them mac and cheese. Let's see. Am I really a bad babysitter for not letting them cook? Because they would have forgotten the water. They're stupid. They're stupid kids. So I don't know what you want. Maybe I saved your house from burning down because look what's going to happen. And so they're kind of standing there and the dad's like trying to get to the microwave and she's like pushing him away like, no, no, no. And the next thing you know, the microwave that is now being cooking this mac and cheese with no water in it bursts into flames. You know exactly what's going to happen about 3 minutes in. And the parents are like, what are you doing? You're going to burn the house down. And she's like, well, maybe I do need to burn the house down so your little brats can learn a lesson that it's rude to get people in trouble and make them lose their job just because I wasn't fun and I didn't let them cook. So let's see how they like cooking, huh? Let's see how they like it when their house is cooking. And so the microwave is like on fire at this point, right? The stuff inside of it is on fire. And so the dad basically at this point, who was trying to be nice, shoves the girl out of the way, like pushes her into the fridge, and she's like, assault, crazy babysitter girl that just broke into their house and is lighting their mac and cheese on fire, is screaming about how apparently the dad is a jerk for like pushing her out of the way, but you kind of walked into their house and lit something on fire. I'm pretty sure you're the jerk in this situation. Like, no one's gonna go, oh my god, I'm totally on your side, he shouldn't have pushed you out of the way, when you're trying to light his microwave on fire, woman. So he opens it, and sure enough, there's flaming mac and cheese sitting there, which I don't really know what your plan is now. Like, yes, the microwave door is open, and now there's flaming pasta in your face, gentlemen. I don't really know what you're gonna do now. Like, realistically, what do you do once you've got the flaming microwave in your hands? Like, oh, here, I've just got this random amount of of flaming stuff in my hands. It's like a hot pocket, but really hot, you know? Like somebody left it in a little bit too long. That thing was cooking. You know how it be sometimes. And they're like trying to put it out, but it's very hard to put out flaming mac and cheese in a microwave. So finally they get it out and they're like, what are you doing, you crazy person? And she's like, if I don't get this job, then you don't have the right to have a house. Which is a really weird way of connecting the dots, all right? Like usually with paint by numbers, no, green goes by blue, yellow goes by red. It makes a little bit of sense, but you're like, you fired me as a babysitter, so I'm gonna burn your house down. I'm not really sure how these two things are connected, but you're a psychopath, right? So the parents obviously call the cops, and the girl basically tries to explain that school's been really hard on her, that she's like an honor student, and this was gonna be her fun outlet, and when she got fired, she had a mental snap. And by mental snap, I mean breaking into their house and purposely lighting Easy Mac on fire in the kitchen to try to burn down their house. Just a typical Tuesday type of stuff, you know? Nothing too wild, typical Tuesday. If your typical Tuesday consists of burning down houses, please do me a favor and stay extremely far away from everything I own, because I'm really just not trying to catch my house on fire. It's nothing personal, you know? If you want to burn your house down, that's on you, but please don't do it to me. Anyways, guys, on that note, that's going to do it for the video. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to press the like button. Follow me on Twitter at Scrubby_69, Instagram at Scrubby. Today's notification shout out goes to Scrubby for Life. Big shout out to you for having on notifications. If you want a notification shout out, turn on notifications, send me a screenshot on Instagram, and I shout somebody out every day. Cop some merch. Use code Scrubby at the G Fuel checkout. And yeah, on that note, I'll see you guys tomorrow with another video. Don't get anyone pregnant. If you do, make sure they're hot. I'm out. Peace.